Good morning and welcome to a Tech Talk Tuesday that's gonna get aired on Wednesday. Today I wanted to talk about something a little bit simpler, so to say. This is going to be a suspension rebound topic, understanding how to properly set up rebound on a XC bike. Now, big disclaimer here. This is not how you should just automatically set up your suspension, but this is intended to give you an idea of what rebound actually does, how it can benefit you, and diagnose some things that you might have happen to you on the trail and don't know what it's actually doing, because it can really get you in trouble and it can be hindering you without you even knowing it if your rebound is generally far too fast, right? This does not get into compression, does not get into extreme suspension setup or diagnosis or any of that kind of stuff. It's super simple, but I can almost guarantee that your rebound is too fast, right? So, two things. You got front and rear suspension. Now, what does too fast of a rebound on the front mean for the rider? That means that the wheel is going to be skipping, it's going to be chattering across the trail and going to limit your control. And number two, it's going to give you way too much feedback into your hands. Your arms and your hands are going to have gnarly arm pump. You're going to be just feeling it in your traps, and you're just going to be like the bike is going to be riding you, right? You're not going to be riding the bike. So those are general symptoms of too fast a rebound on the front. Now, too fast a rebound on the rear means that the bike is always going to be wanting to buck you over the bars. You're going to hit a little compression, the rebound is going to recoil so fast that you're going to come off of the seat. You hit a little log in the trail or rock or a drop, and the thing's going to want to pitch you forward all the time. So those are signs of too fast of a rebound. So what we're going to do is we're going to dial that sucker all the way slow, and no, we're not going to. But I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things on how to set up your suspension properly. Let's go. Now we're gonna take this sucker and we're gonna dial this all the way fast. So now I am dialing the red knob here on the right hand side of my fork. Some forks, it's gonna be located at the bottom of the stanchion. It's gonna be located down here, probably on the opposite side, but down at the bottom. It's gonna be a little knob, and there's gonna be a tortoise and a hare on a RockShox item. On a suspension fork that does not have a logo, it's just plus and minus. Plus means more control, minus means less control. Imagine that. So minus is faster, plus is slower, okay? Take note. Check this sucker out, okay? Wham. See how quick it's responding. Now if we dial it all the way slow, look how slow that is. A good open-handed test of the rebound speed. So hands are open on the grips, and I'm gonna push down, and what you're gonna see is the tire is gonna wanna kind of skip off the ground a little bit, like that. So nope. See that? Okay, now that's what the tire is doing on the ground when your rebound is too fast. So now let's slow this down. Quite a few clicks. If you have fewer amounts, just count the number of clicks. But say about 4 or 5 clicks on a traditional suspension system, maybe about 10 clicks on this brain. Now open-handed again. Bouncing less. Let's go a little bit more. A little too slow now. You'll feel it. It returns. It should just come back in the speed at which your hands respond as well. So now you can see that tire is not leaving the ground now. Open-handed. That's control for the tire on the ground. That means traction. That's control for you on the bike, which means more comfort and control for you. So on the front, we want that open-handed test to be a good idea to allow the tire to stay in contact with the ground, the bike to stay in control for you. Now, on the rear of the bike, the rebound knob is going to be located as a red dial right here on the shock. It's gonna be on the front above your bottle cage, and I can never remember, so don't feel bad. I have to look at it and see which way it's turning slow, okay? Now, when we engage very slowly, as you can see, turn it all the way fast. Quick. As you can also see, if we hit it in slow-mo, let's engage some slow-mo. So now, as you can see, when it's in full fast, the tire wants to recoil quickly, and in the process, it actually lifts the bike off. Watch the seat and the tire sort of bounce in slow-mo. So what that means for you, the rider, is when it recoils, it kicks too fast, and that's gonna force the rear end of the bike up into the air, and you having this constant sensation of wanting to go over the bars. So let's dial it back. Boom. Slow, I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feeling pretty good. Okay, let's see. Now I would say that that's maybe a little fast for my liking, but the tire is not kicking off the ground. So let's go back 1, 2 clicks. There we go. The tire's in complete control. This isn't even moving. Watch this motion. I'm gonna hold the front brake. You do not see the tire bouncing off the ground at all. So that's, now as I said at the beginning of this video, this is gonna be kind of a understanding of how it works, the best way to help you improve, not immediately change. But take a look at your rebound speed. Take a look at how fast it's responding. If it's recoiling, do the open-handed test on the front. Do the old test of skipping the tire in the rear. That's the best indication that I can give you. If the shock is responding so fast it's making both the front and the rear tire skip on the ground, that's gonna mean that it's gonna force it to skip on the trail, and that's not what we want. The only part of the bike that touches the ground is the tire, so we wanna make sure that that tire stays in contact with the ground as much as possible. That relates to traction for you. So whether it's a hardtail or a full suspension, you should be riding a full suspension. Faster. Do the test and make sure that the bike is in control, giving you more control and more comfort on the trail. So that's a brief dive. The suspension world is a deep hole, deep hole. On cross-country bikes, it's a little less deep, not as many circuits and moving parts and adjustments for the rider. So it's a little bit simpler, but that's a brief diving into the suspension world. Hopefully it helps. If it did help, let me know below. Maybe try to, ask a question of a scenario, and I can see what I can do to help you out. For your bike setup, it's always a little tricky through the interwebs without seeing it in person, but I'm happy to help if I can. So until tomorrow, this is gonna be the end of a Tech Talk Tuesday that gets aired on Wednesday. You better get out and ride those mountain bikes now. It's primo season. Loving it. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Over and out.